This griffin, I mean, he's like came from the left, and so it's on your right. He's trying to poke through the energy sphere, right by your head, by your right temple, kind of like this area. And he keeps poking, trying to make a hole, but he's not doing it. He does have a connection, but it's different. It's almost like, oh, I know. So it's kind of interesting. It looks like you're sitting, but in fact, I see you kind of, I see like let's say like a hole in the atmosphere, or like a portal on the right, my left. And I see you like stuck in between, and you're almost like in this laying horizontal position, because the feeling is you were trying to escape from one reality into another. You're saying that, well, I was trying to escape from one digital copy of one reality and jump into another digital copy of another reality, and ended up here, the Earth level. It brings me actually towards Arc. I got the Pleiades first, and then Arctur second, and it seems to be there is some cooperation in between groups. There are, you know what it is? I see the original Pleiades, kind of like as a group of different planets, and then I see Arctur, and I see the literally above there is like, if you see a planet or a star being a spherical shape, I see the flat on top, like a huge flat platform that's like a replica of the world underneath, but it's only a small kind of replica fitted onto the platform, flattened out. It's like you took a picture in 1 or 2D, whatever it's called, but from a 3D projection, the original one, and put it like on a flat on the platform, created a map, put batteries in there that also, not only that they produce energy, but they also stimulate creation in 3D kind of building. They uncode energies, and from those energies sprout certain objects. That's what I see. This looks like really weird. It's hard to explain, but it is as if you're overlaying multiple times an original something that was created. Let's say you take the kind of the same idea what they do on Earth, like they take the original product created by the company that is well known, but then they try to replicate it to the point that it looks so real, but it's fake. That's how I see it. And you're like on the team. There's a capsule. It's orange at the bottom. It's white on top. It's like bright white on top, and you're in this white suits with orange stripes on the sides, down your legs, down your arms, gloves, energetic helmets, like a projection of a helmet, but it's energy built, made, and There is 7 of you with the captain in charge, and it's like a long, long spaceship. It kind of looks like segments of it, like rooms. There is division um, doors, but they're totally transparent. And when you walk through, they like open up for you. There's some of the room have tanks with different creatures, and I see you going into this room. And actually, it's very cute. It's like they have glass container and the opening to the open area with these little creatures. They look like little lions, but a size of a cat. And they look sweet, like sweet cat face with the lines. It's hard to explain that thing. But it's like all the colors of purple in it. It kind of looks like it's in stripes. It has this thick raccoonish looking tail. And like I get, you're a scientist, you're like creating them. But you're creating the DNA also. I don't know how you do it, but you use your own energy. Um, and out of your own energy and your own idea, you mold them together and create it. There are different devices how you do it. There's a interesting crystal ball structure. It's held by this plasma kind of. It's not it's like a holder. That holder goes into a tray, and the tray has a screen, and you put like you connect with a screen telepathically, and you project your idea into it. And there's like I see a swirl of energy start swirling and shaping a little bit what your idea of a creation is. And it's like this is like a desk that you have, and you're sitting, and you also put like some sort of helmet with the glasses. The glasses are like violet, light pink violet, and they go down. For some reason, it amplifies your ability to connect to the computer screen, and also in between, it's like you hear the ball here with your energies here, and the screen is over here, and they all like connect, and they keep, and then you just take this thing out. I mean, it's just like shaped up in a 3D, and it's like spinning like a hologram, and all you have to do, take it up, and almost like you're blowing into it, and you give a spark of life to it. I don't know how to explain. It's almost like you give your it's even less percent of your own energy to that being, and that's how you make it. You created it. And then you can put like it's like a biological program also of that being recreating, multiplying itself. And you can put certain it's kind of like a formula, how many times, it's kind of it's not related to time, because there's clearly doesn't exist there, but it's related to maturation of the consciousness of this being when he's ready to create a family, or somebody who resembles him. But I feel like the way you do it, because you are half and half male, half female, the when you blow, like you active you, and whatever you think, like I want this creature to be male, and then he'll be a male, and or a female, and then the same. It's so looks so magical. Um, and they're like your friends because you go to this room a lot. It's very bright. They keep the certain temperature there going. The whole room looks like a forest. It's like cute little forest, almost like surreal, like a fairy tale. Everything is so beautiful. Like there's little raspberries on these little bushes and blueberries, and it's all like bright colors. And also, there's a there are lights on the ceiling, and they feel like the real sun. They really do, and they make everything grow. And these beings are like around. They can come out of this container. Mm, the containers seem to be something that they go to rest, but then when they come out and they just explore and enjoy themselves. But they're supposed, I feel that this room is high vibrational room, and you can turn. There's a device there. It's like it looks like a Saturn kind of device. It's like an orange crystal ball, and there's like energies going around, and on this ring, energetic ring, there is just little things with the it doesn't look like numbers, it looks like symbols. Like I see one symbol inverted like P with the line in the middle, that P. And and then you just know it, which vibration that device would put the room into, because you have to change it. You have to slowly um, make it higher for the beings. And then it's like you get what happens there, you get like an order from a different planet. They want to see certain type of beings on the planet. Or sometimes the planets are only have humanoid forms, but they don't have animals. And then they would almost like signal to you. You get it like on computer, like an email type thing, but it's all encoded in symbols. And you would know coordinates, how to find this planet and what type of beings they want, and what vibration this planet or density this planet is. So you would create a certain type that they need. Why they need it? It's because through, you're saying now, your subconscious, by via that back and forth telepathic connection and friendship developing with an animal, you actually raise your own vibration in consciousness also, because it's all experience and it's a positive one that would contribute to the growth of your consciousness. That's why animals are very important. And you just love doing this job. You don't even consider it's a job, but just a fun thing. Mm, I don't feel like you have a particular home either. It's just that you fly. You have stations. You have like platforms connected to some particular planets. And you can just park your ship and go in there. And you're familiar with a lot of galaxies exist that way. You say that you come from a little star, Meluni, like Meluni. It looks like a very dark blue star. I see like a little dot in the very bottom of the universe, down bottom side. And that's where another, looks like a Milky Way of some sort. But in the middle, there's this blue dot shining. It seems like you come from there. um, because your soul, it's all about creativity, create, teach how to create, how to expand in creation. And and you know that the gray alliance of six, they're hunting down a lot of spaceships, or let's say helpers of the universe. There's a lot of different ones. There is you're saying there is a technical support from Arcturus, and they're different. There is Genesis from Sirius. Uh, there's harmony and atmosphere and ecosystem um, creation and support group from Venus. They're different spaceships like this flying around and waiting if anybody needs help, and they're chased by Dracos, reptilians, and behind all of them, there are grays. I see a funky looking gray. He looks like this one's not typical. His hands, like six, he has like six fingers, and on each finger there's like like a little pillow like frogs have, and he's yellow. His color is yellow. Um, it's kind of muted yellow, and he has this kind of like face, like little sticking out here, but the eyes kind of like Gray's eyes. That's how it gives away by the eye structure exactly. It has like two lines here. They look like whiskers or something, but they go like from big to thinner on the back, and they connect. It's almost like an almond shape, some form on top. I kind of like raised a little too, but I think they are friends or whatever they deal with. I see the Buddhist constellation and reptilians there. They look like lizards standing up on their back feet. They deal with them a lot. And I see that there is some sort of technology in like floating. It looks like a big flat metallic spaceship, and I see a lot of grays on it. And he has like a radar system. There's just like a ray of light. It's like slightly yellowish orange, and it monitors. There's a certain um, kind of like a stretch of space that it monitors, goes back and forth like this. It's actually invisible, but you can see it if you focus on it. Um, and that's what happened. They actually saw you getting off a bit. Here's what I see. I see the planet. It looks very tropical. I see a lot of like large flowers with four petals. It kind of reminds me of shamrock, but they're blue in color. And you put this little, mm, there's a like little I don't know how to call this animal. It's like a little chipmunk with the wings on the inside this flower, and you say that's your new house telepathically to him, and he says some meow 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 like this, like he talks, he makes some noise. It's very sweet. It makes you smile, and I see them. The ray, it scans. It's almost like projects into their computer system on their into the screen on the spaceship. That picture, I see them watching you, totally watching what you're doing. So you take him out of this container. It's like a square suitcase, and you put him as a male and another one as a female, and actually you designed it so they reproduce that way. They need each other, so they don't feel alone. That planet is not, it just born, it just was created. I feel like I just see birds. I see little tiny birds with little beaks, very cute, fluffy, and that I don't see anybody else there. And in that moment when you're about to walk back, it's like you walk through a tunnel of blue light. That's how you walked into this planet, like a portal projected out of the capsule that you're on. And then as you walk back, I see that they break that connection of you connecting to the capsule through the blue light. They like this it looks, and they grab you with invisible. It looks like look like a lizard catches a fly with the tongue kind of like this and grabs you with a light, and zoom, you're already standing in the middle of the big, looks kind of funky room, like a big square room. By it has the multiple light overlays and like a pyramid in the middle, and you're standing in the middle of the pyramid, and you feel like like a night paralysis type thing, like you cannot move, but you can understand that something is going on. Um, they're just staring around, and you see three grays, um, those yellow skinned, and there is one in charge who's like a typical gray, tall gray Zeta, like a Zeta gray, standing in. He's connected to it's like a hive mind. Whatever he'll say, all the other ones hear and they do what he tells them to do. And they can walk in, they can do anything to you, but you cannot move. So basically, it's like they take you by a hand, and all of a sudden you can walk, but that's the only function your body has right now. It's almost like you don't want to do it, but you do it. And then I see they plop you on this reclined chair. It has some interesting things, like you have to hold on to some metal parts and they fixate your hands, like molded. There are bars here and you hold onto bars. I almost feel like it hurts your hands because it's just not natural for you. But it's done on purpose because there's some, they clip on some on the wrists. They clip on some, how do you call the bracelets with some two sticking out wires, and wires are connected with a clip. It's like a clip on top. You actually still have them. It does something to you. It's almost like GPS system of some sort, but also nervous system controls. The system that controls the nervous system, because it connects with the, it's like the impulses that your body produces when you're in different states of mind or mental or emotional states. It would just generate certain signal through those. It would go out to them and they would read it, and their system reads it. It just pops up on the screen. They have lots of screens and different gray sitting. It's like I see the whole wall of gray sitting in front of the screens, almost like monitor the humans that they're connected to. Each one has two screens divided into two halves. And the idea is they manipulate the creative abilities. They manipulate the thoughts and they try to sway them into more negative thoughts. negative ideas. Even if you think like, why would I think that way? Just not even my thought, or it's not like me, or it's how Matrix wants me to think. And that's actually, they send the impulses through the bracelets on your wrists for you to think that way. There's also I'm trying to figure out what is this. So it's like there are two rings, and there's a belt, and like if you put sometimes you see people wear like they have like a belt with the on both sides there's chains. They like I see chains on both sides, and it's fixated on your waist. What is it for? Keep you fixed, stuck. Mm, it's like you literally, there's something about you have a two energy spheres. I cannot. I mean, it looks very complex. Um, it's like this because when I started walking and touching it physically, I see that one is more like hotter density, um, and another one is lighter. Um, in the lighter one, you're literally stuck. You're laying down. In this one, you're not here. It's empty. But periodically, but there are desks and chairs, and sometimes, let me see what this are for. It's like the Greys bring the hybrids and sit them down, and they tell you to teach them how to create. And because you're stuck in this position, they tell you if you teach them, they'll let you go next incarnation. And it's been going like this for 14 incarnations now, and this is number 15 for you, and they never let you go, really. Imagine if you put like two balls of soap and connected them together and then merged them. That's kind of like your energy sphere looks. Because there are two stories going in parallel. One, the Greys got you, implanted you into 3D. Okay, here. You're going to teach our hybrids that we create on the spaceship how to create. These hybrids have partially your DNA because they need to connect to you, and you need to feel connection. You you partially feel like they're your children. Like that's the best way for them to make you teach them, because you do feel connection. And then the other part that I see here to the left, this griffin is all over you with his huge wings, and he's trying to poke your energy sphere, and you're stuck in it anyway. Like, it's like you can go here or there, you're just stuck. And so the first thing what happened is that you were on some test, you call it testing grounds of creation. So there's apparently something in between universes, like a platform that you can with a lid like this, where they have bubble like a dome, and you can go in. It's like a room, but it's huge, that any soul can come and you create and see how it turns out. You were kind of playing around with different ideas, connecting. Let's say if you would take a lion and a bunny and you would like cut them into halves and put them together, type thing. Um, but it's just like energy. So it's not like you're hurting anybody. You're really just playing around, and you created this griffin idea. And you know why you did create it? Because originally this room was installed by the Grace. It's like a trap. Here you go. Here's the connection. Finally found it. So you go into this, and there are domes of creation all over the place in between universes in this buffer zone type place. But you went to the wrong one, because all the base of it runs programs through it, and the dome, it has programs running through it also. So it gives you like kind of funky ideas that the Grays want you to create. Not really you, but you feel like it's coming from you because you're in the environment that gives you a wrong, distorted perception, much like Earth. Um, and you created this griffin. You didn't like your creation, and you figured, well, I'll better run away from here. I'll better find some other. Mm, it's like a workshop of some sort in between universes. I'll better find another one. And once you're thinking that, the griffin says, "Now you're not going here. You're with me. Mm, you're supposed to listen to me now because I'm stronger than you." You get scared, and in the energy of this fear, you're trying to escape it, and it's like half of your body jumps or teleports into another world, and another half is back there. It's because it's like the impulse of fear ran through you, but it only reached your waist. That's the only explanation I can give how I see it, because I see this part of your body is bright, is light, and then the bottom is like darkish because it's and now you're stuck with the griffin and he's stuck with you. It's like you got connected through that. Um, you wanted to run away from him. He wanted to scare you, and that fear, the based vibration holds you together. And because it's a grace creation, and they keep checking who got into our trap this time, they saw you stuck, and they used that situation for their benefit. They basically just, it's almost like they took a piece of you. I see they literally take, but that's not how they do it. It's not like they technically cut you and take a piece. Mm, they suck the DNA and reconstruct. It's like they created a little you out of big you, because you pretty much look kind of similar to how you look here. Um, the humanoids look very human, except your head is longer, but the features are like human features. The eyes are bigger too. Their noses are more like straight or something, thin, because they don't need to use them as much as we do. There's something about the oxygen intake or whatever you breathe in. It's more that your chest is bigger, and the chest does the most breathing. You don't need the nose. That's what I feel. Kind of close to those alabram, I guess. Well, that's how they call race, but it's a different race though. So let's check the other things. Okay, well, there's this thing that looks like that medical kind of device. The doctors wear with a slide in front, so it's like a ring on the head with this thing in front. It's their system of radar system put on you. The same idea, like they scan the all around the space segment, the shown space segment that they cover with that light. The same thing is projected from here. from your forehead scans. You have this ability to scan, but they actually use it for themselves. They can use it to scan. They would basically send you to some areas, give you an idea, go there, and because they need to explore something, or some people, some particular people, because they're trying to connect to them, and they would read information by using you from them, by the scanner, because it has light that absorbs the information from the informational field around people, type thing. I see two dots in the chest on both sides. There's like some chips, some programs, some software programs. They look like it looks like a mushroom device, but it has the top was a light and was a little I don't know, it's very complex. It's something we don't have here. Mm, let's call it like a program, like a complex something device with programming. It can actually disrupt the heart impulses and the electromagnetic field that heart creates when they need it, and insert artificially designed feelings too. And then we got the belt with two chains on the side, and then we got like yeah, how are those Roman guys called? Was the like sandals? Was the gladiators? Yeah, it looks like the gladiator sandals going up to the knees. Those are also devices. They basically can make you speed up your pace. Can make you almost like make teleport you when they want you to be teleported out of your body, or go to certain location when your body is in a trance or sleep. Yeah, those are totally devices for that. So you're taking those out. You created like a big barrel. Taking the gladiator boots out off of your feet. Then the belt was the chains. The chains also have to do with impulses, electromagnetic wave technology, all this. So you take it off. There's a interesting looking buckle, goes in or inside, locks in. And the wrist bands or bracelets, the two chips from the chest, and the ring from the head off too. You actually make a fire to melt all the implants. You froze the griffin. He's not doing this knock knock anymore. So those implants melted. You open a big portal. You throw them out, and then so you got the griffin. You called them all in to present themselves in front of you. I see this tall gray in charge. It's a Zeta gray. There's a big line of grays behind him. Yeah, those are like robots. The yellow skinned ones are robots. They serve. Yeah, I get a feeling there's somebody was there too. I see some being that used to be with you, but he's no longer there, because I touched him and he dissipated into thin air. He looks like one of those mitras, like very muscular, very ugly face, reptilian looking being with kind of yellowish beige skin. It has a tint of red to it. Also like a glow, ugly teeth and scary looking. Very like you see muscles through the skin. Um, like muscle tissue looks scary and ugly at the same time. But he you pushed him out somehow. I think he the Greys didn't like him to be there because he was trying to take a lot of your energy, and they need your energy for their research and for the production. You know what they also do? It's like the way they took your DNA is through the when you're lying on that chair, reclining chair, they would insert like a needle into your wrist and they take your DNA that way, like blood, and then they would um, create the 17 hybrids that they created. Um, and those are the ones that were hoping that you would teach them the creation, but they never learned because they have too much AI in them. And what they were doing, at some point they had to stop because at the point of it's like around 14.8% of your DNA in them, they're not going to develop. They're not going to grow to a full size that they wanted them to grow. There's something they're not compatible. But also, when you get less than 14.8 DNA percentage, they cannot really learn from you. They can record, but they cannot use, they don't have that aspect to them. They can only copy the ideas, but they cannot generate their own ideas. But the whole idea of what they're doing, the experiment that's going on, is because they want AI to start generating its own ideas of creating something, which so far it's all failed, all the attempts. So you just, I see what you do. You go to the time when you're a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, when they take your blood. It's when they take you out of your body when you're asleep, and you cancel, like you put 2 big crosses on each time. And there've been other times, but I feel like you are a rebellion type, that you literally would escape, and you have the ability to wake your physical body up when you need it, and when it wakes up, then there's nothing they can do to you anymore, um, because you have a strong connection, a soul body connection. That way you just canceled out those DNA taking samples, and I see like those 17 hybrids are shrinking down to a pea size and disappearing, like you uncreated them. And so DNA looks like a braid of 4 different um, energetic tubes or threads, fibers. Each fiber has 3 in it, so 4 by 3, 12. I think you adapt. You're very adaptive. The DNA got, on a scale of like how far you can go in your DNA, because you change it all the time yourself. You went to the original human DNA, which is 12. That's what you did. That's what I see here going on. Mm, Yeah, well, they tried to mutate it, but they only mutated like 1.2%. They tried to inject some substance that was refused by. It's like you have the ability to get it together and assimilate it and push it out of the body type thing, because I see how it goes. It's like pops out from your energy sphere. But they managed to do it anyway, but it took them all these lives. I mean, basically, there's no success in doing that anyway. You change that back to normal right now. And the thing is, there's like a really no contract because you refuse to sign anything with them. They got you. It's a simple way. The easiest way to get is by creating a fear wave, lowering the frequency of a being. When the being lowers its frequency, it's available to be taken. Gets down to the level of grace. So it's at the same frequency. It resonates. The resonance causes them to be able to grab it. That's what they did. Mm. So in cleansing you drew like a swirl of the energy. I'm trying to figure out what's your energy because you keep switching different colors all the time. It's in between blue and green, back and forth. And it's like a tie-dye of blue and green, and you drew that swirl in your energy sphere. And the swirl is growing. It was like fireworks. And you just, it goes over you, and it starts shining onto you. That's your own essence, soul's essence, um, energy, cleansing, like you call them imperfections created by the 14 lives before this one. So you can eliminate and cleanse and filter it out of your energy bodies. That's what you're doing now. It literally looks like the filters are pushing it out, and some of them like tiny microfibers connected in a way like horizontal and vertical lines, like a gnat. Some of these gnats are getting burned up because they belong to the matrix. That's how they try to. In your case, I don't really see I don't see chakras. I just see some gnats like this. And there are different colors. There's a black one, there's a bright green one, but it's not your green color. Your green color is different. This one is dark. So this is all gone. It's cleansed. The griffin guy, he's still there hanging on the left. Forgot about him. And you're saying like, what should I do with him? Open a portal and tell him to go there. He cannot be around anymore. You got disconnected from him. He goes back to, it's like he became like plasmoid shape of some sort. Like a little cloud of dust, and dissipated on the way there through the portal. It's like he never existed because you uncreated him also. Wow, now it looks so clear. And when he's gone, all of a sudden you're ding, and you're standing in front of me in your energy sphere like nothing ever happened. So yeah, it's done. I see you're fine in that suit. You're standing and you say, yeah, it's protective suit. It has electromagnetic fibers in it. It connects, it adapts, it functions on your consciousness. It can change color, frequency, can do anything. Can change and make your shape change quickly and morph with anything. Kind of interesting into anything. Yeah, you're done. So clean. We can go to that. You asked about that time, right? When you did the astral projection. You wanted to look at that one?
Yep. Yep.
Let's see. It's like they let you get out of the body. Oh yeah, they had this thing right in front that you took off as an implant on your head that I see they turning it with the light. I see the light pounding on it. I'm just like, and it's kind of, it twists. It looked like a pyramid before when I go back, and it literally pushes you out of your body. They make it so it coincides with your idea of going to explore because they want you to think that you're doing it. But you can absolutely do it by yourself too. It's that you were locked in a way in the physical body, and but they didn't want you to know that you were. And they would actually pull you into the spaceship every time. Like I do see you and that a spaceship on their spaceship every time. And you're telling me like you already did change that. You change a lot in your other timelines too, but you also changed the fact that they grabbed you, pulled you in on your way to your own spaceship, because I do see you now on your spaceship. It kind of like magnetizes me to your original spaceship when I'm trying to look at the grays one. But because you changed it all and it's hard to access that, kind of like you have to do it through your DNA memory. So they just pulled your energy body and plopped it into the reclining chair and started doing some. It's all about the information and how they would extract it, your experiences, your ideas, and put it into the programs they would insert into hybrids that they created before, and that's what they would do. So the Greys would also try to change appearance when you were little. They would try to appear friendly, like let's say imaginary friends or some animals or something like this, especially in the dreams or visions. And but then when you got older, they didn't really care. They were just doing this to you because they needed to take your energy body, and they would do it. But because the time doesn't exist for them and they can access any point of your timeline, they would do it exactly in those times when you would try to, you would do the astral projection. So, I know if you have other questions. If you have any private questions, whatever, we can do separate video if you want. Doesn't matter for me.
Yeah, can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.